And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. And, well, the studio guests are saying that their cows are prettier than our cows.
Yeah, and if they're named.
My cows are pretty hot about these when they're watching there at the house and they see these other cows on there.
They don't like it, do they?
Yeah.
No. What was one of your cows' name? I've almost forgotten there.
2 Dot.
2 Dot, Montana. Got to have her.
Yeah, no. Jean.
I'm kind of thinking 2 Dot got it because she had 2 dots.
Yeah, 2 Dot was the one that you featured.
Yeah, that's right. It sure was.
The cow of the week or what?
Well, we have so many critters that we like to make them famous from
Model cow, spokes model cow.
There you go.
Model.
Happy cows. They're happier than those
Out there
ones
from
over
Cow Creek.
Yeah,
Yeah, happier than California cows.
that's right.
Always.
Don't be talking about how people, because I know Odie, things will come back to his mind. Do not repeat the joke that we heard yesterday about the names.
I'll tell that in a little while.
Don't do that, whatever you do. I have to really mean something. It was funny,
understand.
though.
You said what?
We do hope your morning is going well. We're starting it off here. Don't forget tonight, there's somebody that's going to need your help. There's some puppy dogs. Well, they can't speak for themselves, so they need help from time to time, and we're going to be down later. I know you're coming. Greg's coming. I want to say the high sheriff has said something about wearing a dress. Is that right?
Something like that's why he had to shave his mustache.
Because he's going to get wet.
Well, it was the dress. It didn't match.
He's going to be Mo Bandy and Joe. Where's the dress? We'll be rich. If y'all remember that, just like Boy George. But that's happening tonight down at in Marion. It will be held at Rocky's place as they raise money for Jordan's Way is where it's going to be held. All the agencies are coming together to raise money for these pups that need a little extra help. And folks, y'all don't realize what these volunteers do each and every day. They go out, pups that are hurt, rescued, being mistreated, they get those animals and then they nurse them back, and it takes money to operate, to feed them, and then get them a new home where people will love them. So they're going to be asking for money this afternoon. So be ready for that. 6 o'clock is when we're supposed to
6 to 9 or something like that. Come out there. Look, Rocky's got a nice place. It's right behind Marion Town Hall, right there off of Dale Drive, Highway 45. You can't miss it. It's on Rocky Lane. Believe it. I mean, he got a road named after him.
Man, that's kind of special.
Yeah, it is. So come out there. And there's no telling what we're going to get into.
That's right.
But we're going to be out there. Oh, I got to do an apology.
Well,
I've
what's
been
new?
calling somebody the wrong name for a long time.
Well,
I got told last night at that car fire.
Who you been calling wrong?
I've been calling Miss Cassie.
Oh, and it's Cassie, and you call her.
And it's Cassie, and I call her Casey.
Well, you know, the general rule is if you say it fast, they don't know that you said it wrong.
They found out.
Oh.
She was
Odie's
watching.
busted.
It all came to a head
It all
last
come to a
night.
head. So, Miss Cassie, I apologize.
I'm not, but there are times, I'm not going to lie, y'all have heard it where I run up on her name and I'm not real sure what to say.
Mumble on through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it George Jones done? Her name is, her eyes are, okay. Am I the only one in the room that remembers that? Y'all remember that?
I made up my own lyrics for the blanks.
What was the actual name of the song?
Her name is.
And that was it. Her name is. And for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, many, many years ago, George Jones had a song called Her Name Is, and he was having a fling with her, and so he couldn't say her name because he would get in trouble. So he would go, Her Name Is, and then it would be a guitar
Her eyes
lick.
are bound.
It was great. Only George Jones could pull something like that off.
Yeah.
One of the best I've ever heard. I really like that. And what was the other one? Y'all think back on this to where he was the DJ and he recorded his show to go home. Y'all with me on this one?
Yeah, he went home and
Yeah,
shot
she was.
somebody.
Yeah, she was having a fling while he was on the air.
Somehow I missed this one.
Did you miss that one?
I think I did.
Oh yeah, he that was a big song for Jones in the original days.
It was sort of like Cold Hard Facts of Life kind of thing.
And I know there's many people out there that remember the name, and for some reason I'm blank on that. But it was the radio DJ, something like that, coming to you live. And it's been many years.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Karen said, don't let John sing the lyrics he made up.
Is it that bad, huh?
No. Nothing bad at all.
It was,
Putting
When it
John on the
starts with
spot.
her name is Billy Bob. I mean, that.
Her name is Billy Bob.
all right, y'all be careful out Newton County Martin Road in the Martin community off Highway 19. We got a school bus broke down in a dangerous place. So it can't move. It's over a hill. So if you are in that area, Newton County Martin Road, of course, that's a long road. But be careful. Sandy, is that closer to Highway 19 or is that back closer to West Lauderdale School? Thank you, Miss Cassie. I appreciate that.
I've got. I think I've got the name of it. I think it was called Radio Lover. Was the name of that?
Yeah, that's right.
Radio Lover. Yeah, was the official name of the song. We Googled it, and well, if Google says it, there it is, right there. Radio Lover.
Well, if Google
Was George
said,
the only one done that song?
That's the only person I ever knew that did it. Because nowadays there isn't any DJs. Y'all know that they're all pre-recorded somewhere in California and shipped in. That's typically how it's done, and that's the thing that's happened all across America. Occasionally you'll find a morning show that's live, but usually for the rest of the day. And the overnight guy left with me when I left back in the 80s. He went away. Yeah. That just became a thing of the past. Y'all remember the overnight trucking shows? What was the guy from
Dave Nemo.
What was the guy from over in Forest that was over
Marty.
Y'all, I know this.
Somebody help me.
He was on that. He was.
On Marty.
It was like
Marty Collins.
Marty Collins.
Marty Collins.
Marty, you could hear for like 3 states where 3 radio stations at nighttime simulcast it, and it was a trucker show. Always liked Marty Collins.
Yeah, he was a good singer too.
Yeah, I heard that. He had a band, didn't he?
One of his guitars.
Sure
one
did,
time.
yeah.
Sure did. It was all old Silvertone electric.
Yeah.
That Marty had glued all kind of coins.
Really?
From all the pesos and just all kind of coins all over it. And somebody, Harold Heltenstall gave that to me.
Wow. So look at that. See, the things that you find out that a thing of the past, but boy, that is something else. Marty Collins, and he was one of the best, the overnight trucking show.
Good.
Rode many a mile with him, so to speak, there.
Newton Martin Road, close to Martin Fire Department.
That's a school bus that's broke down.
That's a school bus that's broke down. So in the road. So y'all be careful if you're in that area. Everybody's going to school, going to work this morning.
Occasionally, Odie will blurt things out, and you go, "What was the rest of that, Odie?"
Yeah. Well, they should have been listening.
School bus broke down. That is good.
Yeah.
We welcome. Help me on this to make sure. Do you pronounce this Altris? Is that how you say that, Odie?
Well, that's what I'm going to go with. But
Altrice.
I've been
Altrice.
batting Altrice. I've
That's
been
what I'd
batting
go with.
500, so it wasn't real good.
She's watching us from Anderson's Hospital. Thank you so much. We do go into so many rooms around the area. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let us in your home. Whether it's your car, your house, your home, your hospital room, wherever you may be this morning. Thank you. God bless you. We're going to be right back. We got musical entertainment. It's these hillbillies over here.
Miss Dorothy George saying good morning. That's my hero's mom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Miss Dorothy. We
Dorothy,
appreciate
yeah.
you. Yeah. We'll be right back as we get this day underway. We've had some arrests. 4 suspects in custody for murder. We'll tell you about that next and then get a song. All up and coming here at the Scotty Ray Report.
When you gear up and journey out, with nothing but you and the wilderness for miles, just remember, you're the boss. Steel MS-271 Farm Boss, built for the toughest jobs.
Still available in Meridian at Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power. 71 Highway 19 North behind Waters International.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie as we begin this. I mentioned a moment ago that we had murder suspects. And let me pull this picture up and show you this. This would come out late yesterday afternoon that 4 suspects are in custody now. Let me tell you more about this as we flip to the head of this. Now, you go to the ScottyRayReport.com to pull this up. The Newton County Sheriff's Office and Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, after that known as MBI as we make this, made the last of 4 arrests in the investigation of the murder of Tyree Pinkston. Now, this happened on July 6, 23. 911 was called in reference to a gunshot wound that was in the 300 block of Violent Street. I remember it well, happening in downtown Newton. When they got there, the body of Tyree Pinkston would be found laying on a couch. She'd been shot. What happened? It was a drive-by shooting. How horrible it was. They've arrested 4 suspects. Aveler, if I'm saying that, Isaiah Russell, Isaiah West, Antonio Skinner, and Jamon Cherble. And as we go down here, here's the lineup pictures that we have of these young men. 17, 26, 22, and also I want to say he's 24. I forgot 22 there also.
Were they shooting at her or just shooting at somebody?
I don't know if it was targeted or not. They, I never did get the rest of the story on. I need to ask Jody on that. Wow. Yeah. But they shot into a dwelling, and they're going to be charged with that and several charges with this. Now, again, you're not convicted until you stand before a judge and jury. That's coming. They're suspects in this, but the MBI and all the folks have really worked hard to break this case. You can't imagine family members how they feel about that. And this is really a true statement here. Let me pull this back up. As Jody put this out, it's a sad day when a person cannot lay in their home without fear of bullets entering their home from gutless cowards. Sheriff Jody Pennington. Yeah. And I agree with that, Jody, 100%. So that's the news, and that's what happened in Newton yesterday. If you're wondering what all the commotion that was going on, well, that's one of them there. Boy, oh boy, boy.
He is on the move.
He is.
Well, they know that if he doesn't drive up in his car and you want to cause a danger, he's got another vehicle they can bring.
He kind of look like a tank.
Yeah. You might as well go with him now.
Because he's coming in one way or the other.
He's going to take you. It doesn't matter. He's going to bring you out.
We are so proud that you've chosen us to be a part of this. Now, word is, Britt, you're from Cow Creek, Mississippi, is where it all kind of happens there. Kind of due north of where we are. John resides here in Lauderdale County. Word is...
No, I'm across the line, man.
Where you at now?
I'm a Cuban. Can't you tell by looking at me?
I didn't. Cuba, Alabama? I really thought you were still Lauderdale County.
No, sir. I bought a house in Cuba right at 3 years ago. Love it over there. It's quiet, and we don't have drive-bys over there.
Well, there you go.
Oh, look at there.
We learned something this morning.
Yeah.
Well, news is out that y'all have made your way to the charts these days with a song.
Sure enough.
What song have you got out there?
Well, we recorded some things at the Max. Let It All Hank Out.
I like that song.
Heard. And one, Davey Had the Difference, is another one. One of them is 60-something on the Cashbox Americana charts, and the other one is 60-something on the Independent Country charts.
Yeah.
So,
well, you going to do one of them for us so we can kind of figure it out?
We'll do both of them.
What do you want to start with here?
Start with Hank Out. It's a little. I'll have to explain the other one a little more. He'll kick me out. 2, 3, 4, 1. Smell that secondhand smoke and the high life air. Breathe it right on in, deep in, and take that honky-tonk yours. I ain't the only fool she ever left this way. She broke me down, but I know how to wash it all away. Just let it all hang out. There's nothing left to do. Hold it in when you've had your fill of the lovesick blues. Don't let her leave you crying, trying. blues come round and you're whiskey bound, let it all hang out. All right. I've seen that Cadillac car with the blue leather seats. Drove himself too far, way too far, and handed Charlie the keys. So play Cold Heart, let me hear that pain. Let that neon shine, shine, shine deep into my brain. Just let it all hang out. There's nothing left to do. You can't hold it in when you fill to the brim with the lovesick blues. Don't let her leave you crying, trying, lying, not a little more. When the blues come round and you're whiskey bound, let it all hang out. I can see her cross the dance floor, looks like she's looking too. Well, at times like this, you ask yourself, what would a drifting cowboy do?
What would he do?
He'd go, just let it all hang out. There's nothing left to do. You can't hold it in when you fill to the brim with the lovesick blues. Don't let her leave you crying, trying, lying, not to let them fall. When the blues come round and you're whiskey bound, let it all hang out. When the blues come round and you're whiskey bound, let it all hang out.
Brick Gully, along with John Elmore there, and that's called Let It All Hank Out. And for those who don't know, when you hear the word Hank, it said a lot. Odie,
Yes, it did.
Hank is just one of those that the most. Would you call him the most influential of all music?
I would think so. He was it.
You go back to from feeling sad to feeling good. Hank was the first that stepped up to the plate that changed the era of. Everybody talked about trains and sang about that, and that was about it. Hank brought real life experience.
Yeah, he was right about him and Aldrin and all that.
Because the word divorce was just not talked about when it come to country radio.
It wasn't easy to get.
No.
You didn't just walk up and say, well, I want one.
No, it was different back in the day. But Hank would tell you about it. What would be y'all's favorite out of both of you? What is your favorite Hank? And John, what's your favorite Hank song? Is that too tough a decision?
It changes with me, but I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. It's wonderful, and I'm so lonesome I could cry. And
Ooh, that one is
things that you think the funny songs, the silly stuff from Hank was just absolutely.
A bucket's got a hole in it.
Yeah. My tires and tubes are doing fine, but the air is showing through. Now, who thinks of
Yeah.
who thinks
He was
of
really
that?
a hillbilly Shakespeare.
Yeah, he was a genius on that, and
And
I
as
don't
you-
think he knew anything else on anything else, but he was a genius right there on that.
And at the time, there was country and then there was gospel, and the two didn't mix a lot. And they got the conniption that Luke the Drifter also, was a part of this.
That's my favorite of all of his Luke Drifter stuff. I mean, the Hank stuff. It was all Hank, but on the Luke Drifter stuff, he managed to drift way out into uncharted territory.
It was.
With the song subjects.
And-
Songs about death and, just all kinds of...
Men with broken hearts and the funeral and all that kind of stuff.
Men with Broken Hearts is probably my favorite composition-wise of Hank.
Which one of those was the song where he talks about the ladies? He's walking down the street and his neighbor stops him and she's running down
Be
the.
careful of stones that you throw.
Boy, I want to talk about a strong statement.
Daddy used to do that
Yeah.
at church with us sometimes. And me and John would have to turn and look the other way because we're squalling.
And the song describes it's a woman, isn't it, that's running down a neighbor running down a woman down the street saying she's basically a flusy.
She knows not to speak to my child.
Don't speak to my kid because you're a flusy. And the woman gives her life to save the child from a car coming at her. And you're like, whoa, this was written then? It is. And remind me of this song.
Really?
Because I have never had a song more profound grab me like this, to where the little girl goes into the church to pray. And her parents are going through a divorce, and she goes, my mama tells me I'm never to speak your name no more.
Yeah.
What was the name of that song? Do y'all know the song I'm talking about?
The song. I can't come up.
It'll come to me in a minute.
It will in a minute.
But one of the most strong songs I've ever heard in my life, folks. It was the real deal. Hank Williams, and of course, Let It All Hank Out. Y'all don't rush off. We got more questions for this coming up. We'll continue this. Odie, you've been kind of quiet over there. What are you doing?
I mean, look, if that right there didn't get your hump day started, hot dog, that right there, and we got more coming. But one thing we've got coming is the giveaway of our Hyundai of Meridian coffee mug with the Scotty Ray Report. And to get in the drawing for that, all you got to do is give us your birthday, your anniversary. Let us know. We've got Haley Fuller Bratu is 28. Chris Walker, 66. Annabelle Anderson's having a birthday today. Bernard Rigdon, 89 years young. And Will Dunn coming in at 30 years old today. So happy birthday to y'all. And get your birthday, your anniversary in so we can get you on the move for this here beautiful Hyundai of Meridian Cup.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. And something that happened yesterday. Odie, I've never seen anybody ask to leave an all-you-can-eat buffet other than you.
Well,
how many times did you go yesterday?
I just went twice. I couldn't go the third time.
We had a wonderful time downtown Meridian at the Pancake Jubilee, 77 years worth of it. And we were sitting there, we run up on the 50 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Gracious.
As Art.
Look at there.
Matthew started talking to me, and it took me a minute. And I looked and I said, well, Art, what are you doing?
He's lost some weight.
He has. And then look back here in the very back. You got Wayne and Kristen trying to hide from everybody back there.
They sure were.
You know, stuff in their mouth.
It was a large turnout as we look here. Here's a glimpse at the crowd there. Paul there eating there at the table as we walked in. Let's see, we had some other folks join us there. There's Dan back there in the background.
And everybody through.
Yeah. And the part of the sheriff's department there eating with us.
I see it. Look at old Floyd sitting there.
We had a wonderful time coming down and being a part of that. We appreciate the invite so much for letting us come down and hang out and eat. Just a fantastic time with that. We got a lot more stories coming up. The Meridian Public Schools has put out, do you know this person, as we get to this? Let me show this picture here. A laptop was taken from Meridian High School, and of course they have their own police department there. Do you know this gentleman? A laptop was taken. If you do, inbox us. We'll pass that information along. We don't know what the reason was for borrowing it or for whatever might have could have went on, but we'd like to know who that is so they can have a little chat. We'll see if we can get an answer to that as we get this going. What do you get there?
Well, I looked. We never saw the chief, so I don't know.
She did not.
If she did or not.
We know at 12 noon she had not cashed in her ticket that we bought for her to come in.
Right. So
what a shame.
We've got a special condolences going out this morning. Mallory Chancellor, the wife of Sheriff Anthony Chancellor, lost her father last night.
Oh, no.
Let me take that back, because the way Anthony said it, we didn't lose my father-in-law. We know exactly where he is. He's in the kingdom of God, but he's no longer with them. And our prayers go out to each and every one of those family members. So I hated to get that news yesterday, but our thoughts and prayers are with each one of y'all.
Now, as we are our special guest here, we're going to get back to, I'm going to put you on the spot. I always love doing that. Ain't nothing quite like it. We'll get back to another song that y'all have got on the charts that is going up the charts right now. But as we're talking about Hank, pick one of your favorite Hank songs. Let's do a tribute to Hank here, if you can spare a song there. What do y'all feel like doing? Uh-oh, here it comes now.
Well, they got ready on that one, didn't they? They know one.
Lost Highway. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lone. For a life of sin, I have paid the cost. When I pass by, all the people say, just another guy on the lost highway. Just a deck of cards and a jug of wine, and a woman's lies make a life like mine. On the day we met, I went astray, started rolling down that lost highway. Take it off again. Some right there.
Little Hank there, and of course the Lost Highway. First time I ever heard about that song, it was Hank Jr. said he heard about his daddy singing about a lost highway. And I thought, well, what is that? And I had to look it up. And of course, I was that generation that come along that probably knew more about Hank Jr. at the time than I did Senior. But boy.
I remember, I'm a few years older than you, and all that disco and stuff, and rock and roll wasn't doing much of anything.
That's right.
We got disco, which I go back and listen to now. It's kind of fun and sounds
because it's country.
But I was going to school over at Scuba, and we were sitting out there, and I was riding in '65 Pontiac, and had an 8-track player in it.
Oh, I know where this is going.
We were sitting out front out there between the library and the dorm. There's half a dozen of us, and I stuck that in. We was listening to it, and folks was coming by. Yeah, and I said, we're cool again. Had Hank Jr. going. Oh, that habit's old and new.
Oh, yeah. We don't all get into Donna Summer.
Had them Twitters woofing.
Cool again.
Little smoke out back. And Hank just really defined a generation. Somebody said this to me yesterday. Let me just for you. Hank Williams Jr. is 75, y'all. I don't know if everybody knows that or not.
Wow.
75 years old. It don't even sound right.
No, it doesn't.
Britt reminded me of this. I read this, but Hank was, and I forget who it was another country star, and Hank, from what I understand, I always like to have people drive him to the store or wherever he was going. He didn't like to drive, and they got in his Cadillac, and he was telling Hank that his car had a rattle in it, and he reached over and patted him on the back. And how did he say it?
Maybe something. If you keep
maybe one day
at this, maybe someday you will be able to afford one that rattles like this.
Yeah. Hank just had a unique way on the fly of turning things around. Maybe one day, son, you'll have you a car that rattles like this. Just can't beat that.
made more money than he had any idea if there was that much money in the world.
And you have to give credit, and this is coming up in our This Day in History, somebody that's tied in. And it's kind of how this ties together this morning. We'll talk about somebody that was part of Hank's world. That's coming up here in just a moment. Let me say, there was something else I wanted to mention before we went to break. This was found yesterday. Let me zoom in on this. Does anybody know this little fella? He's been found in the middle of Highway 39 near Community Bank, and he needs to get back home. Anybody recognize him?
Yeah, he's looking.
He just wants to tell me he's one of the friendliest dogs you've ever bumped into.
He's got that friendly-looking face, and he's wanting to go home.
You want a biscuit. Y'all, if y'all happen to know who he is, let us know. We can reunite him to his home. We certainly hope we figure that out. Still to come, we've got somebody from Meridian that's going back to jail. We'll tell you the details on that. Plus, we're going back in history next. Y'all hang on. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got any more?
We got one more birthday came in for Mark Roberts having a birthday this morning. So happy birthday.
All right.
We'll get them in.
We'll be right back.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back as we get this morning going underway. As we kick off what happened in history on this day. Now, we were talking about Hank Williams, probably, in our opinion, if in this room, probably the greatest hillbilly Shakespeare man that ever existed to write lyrics. And if you've ever heard the song, I Saw the Light, No More Darkness, that's the man who wrote it.
That's him.
Now, back in 1923 on this date, somebody would be born that would become a driving force in Hank Williams' life. And I'll give you two a hint as to who you think that might be that, well, really probably is the reason we've got a Hank Williams.
Rufus Payne?
Audrey?
Oh, there we go. 10 points there. Audrey Williams was born on this day back in 23. And she would pretty much take hold of Hank.
Bossy and pushy, and somebody had to be.
Yeah, she went to Nashville, and
his mama had been bossy and pushy ahead of him, and
she took over after that, didn't she?
She took over. I guess that's what Hank needed.
And am I right? And she's even the one that pretty much pushed him into all the designer suits that he had.
I'm not sure about that, but
I've heard tell of it, and it may not be true. But as she'd take him to Nudie, and he would design the suits there of what Hank is forevermore known for. Wow, what a day it was there. 1931, each of you will remember this guy from, well, he started out the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I didn't really like the Mary Tyler Moore Show. It wasn't my kind of show, but it had some funny parts looking back through the years. But the next show, we've talked about this one several times.
Yeah.
Odie does it all the time.
I love to cruise.
Yes, you do. And, well, the Love Boat.
Yeah, boy, old Captain Stupid.
Gavin McLeod was born on this day, and he was very famous back in his day, but it's hard to beat the captain. I would say that role is bigger than his role on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I always knew. And everybody wanted to have dinner with the captain for some reason.
Well, that's... we'll say the Love Boat's kind of like what the Jimmy Rogers used to be. If you were going to be an actress or an actor, you were going to be on the Love Boat. If you were going to sing country music for a living, you were coming here to go to the Jimmy Rogers show. Love Boat was a little bit bigger than me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now, we talked about this show a tad yesterday, but we have somebody else that was on this TV show that has a birthday today. He was the little sleazy guy there that everybody made fun. Maybe sleazy is not the word.
Well, he was a salesman.
Yeah.
It wasn't used.
He wore those colorful jackets that looked like he should be on a golf course somewhere. As we go back to remember Frank Bonner, standing next to the hot chick. Of course, WKRP in Cincinnati.
That was a funny show.
It was. And, it's really hard to pick your favorite character, from Les Nessman doing the news to Johnny Fever.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Mr. Carlson. And of course, what was Lonnie Anderson's part's name? And I know she was the secretary, but I can't.
Jennifer?
Was that right? That may be right.
Something, maybe, yeah.
They had Venus Flytrap, and then who was the guy that was kind of like the PD, the program director?
Mr. Carlson.
Andy.
Oh, yeah, Andy.
And then Mr. Carlson was the owner.
Yeah.
And his mama really made all the decisions in the background, didn't she?
The Venus flytrap.
It was good. That entire show was just good family fun.
It was a good show.
I remember the episode where Johnny actually played a song that was on the charts and everybody was shocked.
Then he played something up to date.
Anybody remember the name Hightower? I have laughed. And you can still go back today to that first show and laugh and then roll around on the floor and get back up and watch it again as we remember Bubba Smith.
Oh, yeah.
He was Hightower in Police Academy 1.
Well, that little car, he ripped the front seat off and sat in the back just so he could drive.
And I don't remember the character's name of that other guy that was the ventriloquist. Make
oh, man.
Yeah, make more noises and ragged from his mouth than Jeffrey Creekmore could.
That's right.
All that kind of stuff.
But man, what a show that was. I really, really enjoyed that. Some scenes we can't talk about.
Yeah.
You ain't never stumbled into the Blue Oyster, have you?
No.
Had to dance before
I
you
couldn't stand this guy.
He had that voice. Oh, it was shrill.
Michael Winslow. That was that character.
I think his character last name was Jones.
Was it the character's? But that was his real name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Winslow.
That was it. Jones was his character. Yeah. Jonesy. Where's Jonesy?
That's right.
Tackleberry.
Yeah, Tackleberry. I'd forgotten about that. And who was the woman? And let me word this correctly. She had large assets. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. She was the trainer. Do y'all remember that?
I can't remember the character.
I can't remember her name.
But y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
She was tough. She was very tough there. This next guy who has a birthday, the voice to me is a turnoff.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, do y'all catch on to what he's talking about here?
Y'all don't know.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, Gilbert Godfrey was born on this day back in 50. He passed away a year or so ago. He's no longer with us.
Yeah, April.
But that little squeaky voice of his would get the best of me.
He wasn't one of us.
He was not, definitely. No. 1961, who was on the cover of the magazines? Well, he was the talk of the nation. He had a new family. We just didn't know the history at that point in time, but JFK and family on the cover of Look magazine back in the day. Back when, we know that. The first family.
Yeah.
There are people, and y'all may like this too, because y'all probably venture out more than I do in genres of music.
You said it right.
Boy, I practiced all morning before we went live to say that word.
He just bought that word.
That's a tough word there. Simon and Garfunkel. There's a lot of you who love that music. It just was not my kind of thing. Did y'all ever do in concert on the stage, Bridge Over Troubled Water?
No, but I've played it. We've done The Boxer.
Yeah.
Something.
I've heard it.
He's a great writer, but it
just wasn't my thing.
Terribly appealed to me.
But like Crackling Rose, I know that there's a lot of people that like Crackling Rose. It just wasn't my kind of music there. It was 2005 or so that we blocked the street off and Meridian brought this old boy to town. And what happened there, Odie? I don't know.
Oh. The lights went off.
Yeah.
Look out.
Let me
There's John.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Timo said that,
looks like we got the show, John.
Timo said he'd rather chew tinfoil than listen to Gilbert.
Yeah, that I don't know. That camera's giving us trouble for some reason there, Odie.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. We're going to have to look at y'all a little bit more to get this figured out.
We up there.
Our next one, as we go back for the birthday, he was in Meridian. Y'all remember Jason Aldean's show?
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
That was a good show he put on.
Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it.
You were something behind it. You gave me tickets to it.
Yeah, it was my show, if I remember right. There we go. There's Britt. Let's see if we work now.
Right.
Yeah, we're back.
Hey.
And I can't remember who we had open the show for him that night, but it was good. But he went to several bars around town. I remember people saying, I saw Jason Aldean last night. There's nothing like somebody's mama. Well, they kind of drive the show, and, well, Mrs. J, so to speak, ran the show as we go back for the Jeffersons. Do y'all remember Zara Cully?
Yep.
She passed away in 78, and, of course, she always told Wheezy what to do. that name, Wheezy, how did that name ever come to be? Wheezy.
Louise is her name.
And so he just shortened it, called her Wheezy.
Yeah. I went to school with Louise Shoemate, and that's what everybody called her. Was
Really?
Wheezy.
So y'all called her Wheezy also?
Yes, sir.
That sticks, doesn't it? Let's see what else happened today. Out of all the folks that he started out in rock and roll. He would get his first name rather, from a town in Arkansas, and it seems like maybe Mississippi had something to do with the second half of his name. It was all made up. Yeah. He would be ahead of his time. He would start a musical theme park to invite people to his home to do concerts, because he figured out real quick it's easier for the crowds to come to me. The only thing he didn't count on was dying. That kind of put a rump row in it.
Yeah. I remember when we were in Nashville, when Scott's thing was taking off, Conway Twitty died, and everybody up there was just in shock. You know, George Jones is still alive. Johnny Cash is still alive. And Twitty was a health nut. He jogged every day and ate like he was supposed to.
And then he died. Aneurysm.
And shows what all that'll do for you.
Yeah, that's why I don't feel so bad when I'm still sitting at the table.
But as Conway today would be, and this is one of my most favorite songs that Conway ever done. He would go into the studio today and record 2 songs. One was Happy Birthday, Darling. I have no gifts, no presents, but he's going to take a lot of things away, if y'all remember that line. And he done another one of my favorites. This is it. I may never get to heaven, but I once came mighty close. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, that just stops. It's like, whew, some of the best you'll ever do. If you haven't ever heard that, find it today.
Only Make Believe is my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one. Now, a lot of folks would argue with you, Britt, and go, I'd love to lay you down is my favorite.
That's a good one.
All right. Hello, darling.
Louisiana Woman, Mississippi Man.
Yeah. Boy, fine stuff. It would be 1979. This guy was a star in his own right. I mean, it was kind of hard to believe that he could do what he did.
Peanut butter.
Yep. Americans loved it. As we would lose an all-time great, Mr. Ed passed away on this date. The talking horse. Came into your living rooms for years upon years, and then thereafter with reruns. Can't miss that. This is, if I am not mistaken, maybe still the most watched episode of all television history. It happened tonight.
Yeah, that was something that, and it's amazing that many people watched.
Do you remember?
MASH.
There you go. 125 million people
watched one episode.
We watched it, and I didn't even like the show.
You felt like you had to.
Yeah, I didn't have control. We didn't have a remote back then.
No, we were the remote back then.
I surely knew better than to change the channel. We watched. We never missed an episode of it when I was a kid. So.
It was one of those things that was there. And as you go back and you reminisce on that Hot Lips Houlihan, she was kind of what made the fellows want to watch the show. And who was the guy that was before Frank? There was another little weeby guy that she kind of ran before Frank Burns came along.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can see him.
And she kind of dated him also on the side.
Yeah,
took the place of it.
Golly,
Alan Alda and all of them, as you get into this years later, you would figure out that he didn't quite think like the rest of the folks in the South did. He was a little younger,
a little
way.
different.
Yeah.
Wayne Rogers, it was on there, was a Birmingham boy.
Yeah, he kind of thought like us. Wayne, pretty good old boy. 1984, this next guy, he was one of those in country music that came along. Everybody was going, I don't know about this fella.
Yeah.
Don't you go over there and hang out with them folks on Solid Gold Saturday night. And he hooked up with Clint Eastwood. He would have a big song with that. And, well, he done this. A lot of truck stops had this on the jukebox. Anybody remember I Love a Rainy Night?
I Love a Rainy Night. Yep.
Nothing like some Eddie Rabbitt. And, of course, he would get his start by writing a song for an old boy from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah.
That's how he got it going.
Kentucky Rain.
Kentucky Rain, he sure did.
I saw him on a thing, and he was talking about the Astrodome or somewhere like that, and he was going to get to meet Elvis, and he just thought, wow, Elvis is just going to swallow me whole because I've given him a #1 hit. Said he went through corridors and corridors and way down, and just wondering just what kind of glorious conversation I'll have with Elvis. So they got down there and they introduced him. Said Elvis looked up and said, "Pleased to meet you." And they ushered him back out of there.
That would be a letdown. That would be a letdown. And of course, Mac Davis wrote "In the Ghetto." If no one's ever known that, "In the Ghetto." Mm-hmm. He wrote that about a guy that he worked with who had a kid, and I'll never forget that, how he come up with that. He said he bought his first TV, big TV screen after that. He didn't have nothing before that until Elvis found that song. 1985, a lot of men use this in beer joints, as a setup to come on to women. "Excuse me, but I think you got my chair." As George Strait would go in to record the chair. And that was really the beginning of where George became king of country music. That was that era there of, we got another issue there with that camera there.
Well, big deal.
We're going to have to find out what's wrong with it.
Still do that song anytime you want to in the honky tonk, and they'll all hit the dance floor.
It's good, isn't it?
By 5,000 bar bands ever since it came out.
Now, I never watched this next thing that happened at all.
Well, I had to watch it.
I know my wife watched it, and she liked it for whatever reason. Anybody remember
go outside.
Pretty in Pink?
Never saw it.
Yeah, I never watched
remember
it.
it.
But you did see it, Odie?
I want to say I saw parts of it.
And how do you rate
One
it?
of those, well, I mean, it was something you did what you had to do.
Back in the
suffered through some of it.
You had to suffer through. I get that. 1980s there was a lot of people that were trying to be the group or the person that come out of the 80s. Of course, some of the big names that you remember, George Strait. This is the guy that would go down in history as having, a lot of people go, no, it's Alabama. No, let's back up. It would be this guy that had the most #1 hits in the 1980s in country. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? They're at a blank there. Earl Thomas Conley, as he gets it there.
Yeah, big.
I can't win for losing
Alabama
you.
too.
But it was close. But Earl Thomas would have more #1 hits than Alabama during the 80s.
It's a little surprising.
Yeah, it is. 1989, we'd sit back because there was a couple of... The guy that played his assistant coach was just so dingy, you couldn't help but like it. Anybody remember watching Coach?
I never did get into that program.
This old boy right here, wasn't he a Van Dyke?
Yeah.
He was dingy, but he
Van Dyke.
He was funny. I enjoyed that. Let's see here. 1991, we would watch them grow up on television.
Yeah.
And as the money ran out, they would turn to a life of crime. It happened to several that were
What
on
you
there.
talking about, Willie?
That's correct. As Dana, do y'all remember her? She would walk in and rob a store for $165. And as you read the information there, the caller calls into 911 and says, I think it's the girl off Different Strokes just robbed me. And well, it was. What's interesting is it was Wayne Newton that would fork out the $13,000 to get her out of jail.
Wow. Now that I did not know.
Dope can mess you up.
He can, and it got her.
Yeah.
1992, people have broken up before, and then sometime during the middle of the night, you think, well, I wonder what they're doing. Well, yeah, Garth thought about that, and he got a song out of it back in 92. What's she doing now? He heard she moved to Boulder. Had some other lyrics going on there also. As we look at this, one of the greatest. It doesn't get any better. He was the most honest person I think I know.
Yeah.
He was down the middle, and if he told you, you could take it to the bank.
That's right.
He believed in God. He was, I don't want to say he was right wing. I know a lot of people say that. I just think he believed in what he did. God and country, and he believed in that.
He was truth.
There he is. Paul Harvey, the greatest of all voices, passed away on this date. And if you don't believe me, go back and listen to
Try
rest.
to watch him, listen to him every day at dinner time.
Yes.
If you had 10 or 15 minutes.
The
7:30, noon, and 5:30. Those were your times to hear it all. And if he said it, it was true. We would lose one of the, well, I say this, let me word it correctly here. She done a lot of movies, but a lot of people go, that's that Cross Your Heart chick. Y'all know who I'm talking about. We lost Jane Russell here. She was really qualified for that role.
Yeah.
To sell those.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that. How about that? That's a look at history
work.
today. We'll be right back as they gear up. They've got some more music for us. We'll be right back with the gang as we start this day at the Scotty Ray Report. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres, no matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. from 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Your next appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, drop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers. A showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen, Amana, and delivery is available. With a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. and by appointment after hours and weekends. Well, it says we got to talk again. We're back. Let's talk about these folks, Odie, because we know them real well. Snowden and Company. Yeah. Are you looking for a house?
You know, it doesn't matter if you're looking for one or want to sell one.
Maybe your mother-in-law just moved in with you and you got to have some extra space. She's up in your area.
It'll be the longest 6 months of your life.
They'll help you out there at Snowden and Company. When it comes to this, visit them online, go to their Facebook page. You'll see homes throughout it. Land, lots of homes. We got them there for you from Lauderdale, Clark, all these areas around here. And then we move over to the Jackson area. They can take care of you. Brandon, Flowood. If you got to move back and forth, let me hit the right button where you can read it all. There you are. See them today, SnowdenRealEstate.com. They'll handle all that paperwork. And let me warn you, it's a lot of paperwork when it comes to selling a home. Making sure that this inspection and that inspection, they keep track of all that. All you have to do is show up when they tell you to. Snowden and Company, somebody that you can depend upon, and if they give you their word, that's the way it is. See them today, Snowden and Company. They'll help you out there. Y'all have been quite the treat hanging out with us this morning.
Yeah.
There. We may hang out a little longer.
Well, please do.
We like that, too.
Now, you were telling us that you're on the charts with a second song as well.
Davy had the difference. Oh, do you remember when the old folks used to say, Scotty Ray went over there to whoop him, but by dog, he had the difference.
Yeah.
You know, the difference was, this
exactly.
ain't going to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the trump card. Well, Angie's great uncle, Daniel Fulton, who was my great uncle. That's why we're kin folks.
That's how it's all worked.
He went off to the war, the Atlanta campaign, when he was 16, I think. And he got killed, and they never did know where he was or what happened to him. So I had that on my mind, and that, putting that in a song some kind of way. And the difference, if he had the difference, he made it. And I was fooling with that a little bit, and talking to Jackie Jack, and he said, yeah, that's a good angle. That's a good angle. I said, let me get in on that. So we swapped it around and wound up, instead of being Danny, had the difference, it was Davy, because we put Jackie Jack's great-great-grandpa, Davy White, in the same place. And we decided it flowed, songs.
It flowed better.
Yeah, songs take on the life of their own. So we wrote this, and it's it's an outlaw gospel saga song.
Yeah.
It's on the Americana charts.
And 60-something on the charts now?
I think so, yeah. It goes up about 10 every time it comes out.
That's great. Well, let's hear it.
Rotting in the hell of a Yankee prison yard, Davy bought a blade off a drunken midnight guard. A crippled up St. Shiloh, Davy dragged me to the fence, and he gutted that big gate man. And we ain't looked back since. Well, Davy had the difference, and I recall the times that the odds were all against us. He had something on his side. Angel or devil, how could anybody tell? Davy had the difference, and I'll say it served us well. Crossing through Missouri, mostly in the heat of night, redlegs all around us, fought and fought a fight. Ounce caught our trail, Davy cut the pepper sack, and he poured it on the ground. Ha ha! You ought to heard them blue ticks hack. Yeah, Davy had the difference, and I can't count the times that the odds were all against us. He had something on his side. Angel, the devil, how could anybody tell? You know, Davy had the difference. I'll say it served us well. Crossed on the border, he fell in with Bloody Bill. Burned a town in Kansas, and that's where I got my fill. Caught a barge to Memphis, Davy's sister met us there. Split up south of Nashville, went on fighting who knows where. I went to see him before he died in the town of Petersburg. Sat there for the longest while, neither spoke a word. His eyes welled with water, and he pointed to the book. Saved you in that war, he said. The Lord can save us both for good. Yeah, David had the difference, and I can't count the time that the odds were stacked against us, but God was on his side. Angel, the devil, no trouble now to tell. You know, Davy had the difference, and the Spirit served us well. Yeah, Davy had the difference. Praise God, it served us well.
Brick Gully, along with John Elmore. We'll be right back to find out where Britain the game's going to be singing. We'll do that next here at the Scotty Ray Report. Rock House Gun and Pound, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rock House Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rock House Gun and Pawn. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. And welcome back as we travel along. Had a little issue there.
Still got another one.
Yeah. Well, we'll look at them in a second.
Put it over here on us. We're fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll try to lip sync to you.
As we
Say what you want to,
mentioned,
we got it covered.
as we mentioned earlier, we had someone that has been arrested, been sentenced in the great state of Mississippi. As we look at this was a work release program where you were allowed to go to work and come back. The only problem was he went to work and never came back.
He didn't come back.
Found him in Alabama. He's been sentenced now. This is not what you do. And again, if you'd like to read more about this and all of what went on with this, do so at our website there. Now, Britt, y'all were telling us that y'all going to be out performing a little bit in some local areas. Where?
Friday night, the Brick House. Britt Gull and the Water Moccasin / Sugarlock Slim Coalition. Me and John, Tommy Hawk Etheridge, Sugarlock Slim on drums, and I don't know, Michael may get down in time to play with us too. Then Saturday night in Quitman, 110 Main.
So Clark County getting ready for y'all.
We're going down there and playing. John will be with me, and I don't know, we'll have some special guests. I'm expecting Aiden to show up.
It'll be good.
Well, we're going to send them your way. We appreciate y'all coming in. John, we couldn't help but notice you got a new guitar sitting over there.
Yeah, that's why I'm working so much with him now. I have to pay for this thing.
Well, now, we know where you're going to play this weekend, but somebody has put on here a couple of them, says, where can we get a CD? So how can they get a hold of your music?
We've not put it in a CD yet, but we might, because we got some more stuff to record, and this is taking off pretty well. You can download it on all of these Spotify and
got it there,
Pandora and Apple and what is all of them. You can find it anywhere.
Check it all out.
And all of the downloading platforms, you can get it there.
All right. Well, thank y'all for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all for letting us come down here and bother y'all.
It's been a fantastic morning, and we'll be out again helping tonight out at Rockies there in the town of Marion.
Right there behind Town Hall. You can't miss it. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of people raising money for these pets. Look, we've got to stand up for
Jordan's Way.
Jordan's Way. And it's going to help all of the companies around our area that take care of dogs, not just one or not just two. But come out and help that. There's these great pets.
Absolutely.
That need our help. And we fixing to give this away here in just a second for a birthday club. And we've got Madeline Miller, who was 11. Kaylin Joyner's having a birthday, and Joanne Bradley is 80 today.
All right, well, let's give that thing away. We got to do that every day there.
We got to do that. We enjoy doing that. We know y'all do too.
Yeah, folks are fighting over these coffee cups.
Yeah, they are. They don't like this kind of stuff. So here we go, and dun 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 dun. Woo woo. Mark Roberts. Happy birthday. You are the winner of the Hyundai of Meridian Cup. Go down Highway 39 to Hyundai of Meridian right there on Highway 39, big steel gray building. You can't miss it. Tell them you're the winner.
Yeah,
have a photo ID that better match your birthday. But go down there and tell them you won.
Hody, you got a verse you're going to end us with today. Did you have something that you wanted to say?
You know, that was it. Okay. That was didn't have anything else to go with it. But the verse of the day is going to be Daniel chapter 12, verse 3. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. Talking about living life and living life forever. Life of eternity is only done through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And get that relationship with Him today, and it will change your life forever. Hope you have a great day. We'll be back in about 23 hours. Until then, we love you. See you tomorrow.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.